Jaby Koay, joining me is Megan Lay. We are going to do Magadheera, a ram charan fight with 100 soldiers. Super hit action scene. 7 minutes long.
Super hit.
Here we go. That was a great stunt though. There were good things and bad things in there. I really enjoyed a lot of the concepts in there. Now, okay, let me preface this with saying something. Some people get sensitive when I compare, when I keep comparing things we're watching to Western clips, to Western movies. And to that, I just want to reemphasize the fact that we grew up in the West and grew up with Western cinema, and so it's natural for us to kind of make an immediate comparison to something from the West. We're not saying that the West invented everything.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
But even in Western films, we compare Western films to not Westerns, like spaghetti Westerns.
Wait.
But like
Western to other Western films.
Yeah, ones that are similar, no matter where they're from in the world, we still compare them.
Right, exactly.
Because they remind us of that.
Right, exactly.
So
it's just a helpful reference point to keep the conversation going. That being said, in this particular instance, that shot when they were on that narrow bridge, that natural bridge, and the camera was going in and out, and he chopped the guy's leg off, that was directly lifted from 300. There was a shot I can point to with a timestamp where it was exactly like that in 300, where Gerard Butler was just going through Persian soldiers. Now, that being said, that was the most egregious thing that was, when I say egregious, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, it's just like, it was the most obvious lift. There were some cool ideas in there that I appreciated. Just that the premise was cool. Like,
one guy versus like 800
yeah,
men.
exactly. Like, the premise is pretty badass. Like, Betty, you stay back, I got this shit. And he goes in. I didn't like how useless she was.
I know.
But
meanwhile, she's like the emotional, useless damsel in distress.
Like,
that's fine.
Excuse my language, but like, bitch, what are you falling over for? Like, she's like, I'm like, what happened to you?
And he still saves her.
She
couldn't do anything.
I know, but like, what is she falling over for? Like, no one's there.
She's overcome with emotion.
Okay, fine. I've never seen a woman do that in real life, but fine.
Have you seen guys fight like this in real life?
Yes, I've been to Jam. Just kidding. That's a place where we train.
A little extra. I don't know what's up with the guy with the turban. I really wish I knew what he was saying, because it seemed like he was all up for the fight, and then he was upset that he was getting hurt, and then he was excited that he was getting hurt. If
I had to guess, it may have been it's one of two things. Either he has some kind of history with him, almost like, I'm sorry, once again, I'm trying to like find just reference points here, but Moses, it was connected to the Egyptian king. Like, they were brothers when they were kids, right? Well, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so they were brothers when they were kids. They grew up and had to become enemies because of whatever. So here, it may have been a similar situation where they knew each other when they were younger. I'm just guessing. The other possibility is he recognizes the God within him that they keep referencing with the statue.
That's probably it.
The last possibility, which is the weakest, is that he just recognizes that he's just a fucking phenomenal warrior. Like, he's never seen anything like it. And it's all, of course, you know, hidden in the subtitles that we don't have. Even that's kind of interesting, just seeing how the nemesis in the situation have a change of heart of some kind. For whatever reason, like, he recognizes something. I wanted to see the fight that followed between them, if there was one. That would have been interesting. But I got kind of pissed off when the huge stocky guy was like, "Rah!" and he charged at him. I'm like, if this guy goes down in one hit, I'm gonna be a little bit annoyed. And he did. I'm like, what was the point of that? He literally went down the same way as the other 100 people.
Else.
Like, there was nothing special about that. But I mean, it happened.
And they saved the big best guy for last.
Yes,
wasn't
exactly.
That big and best.
Well, he certainly wasn't the best. But I got kind of annoyed when you couldn't see what was happening. It was just super close up, and it's just movement for the sake of movement. But I kind of thought it was cool when the music dialed down in order to create, like, I knew what it was trying to do, and it's harder for me to get on board emotionally just because I'm not invested in the story. I don't know what's going on, so I can't be as invested as you guys who have probably watched it. But I appreciate the idea of everything calming down, and you're still getting that kind of visceral violence.
It's that kind of going into his perspective.
Yeah.
Of like, everything else tunes out and he's so focused.
Yeah.
That's probably where I got on board emotionally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I
stopped laughing at Betty and started like feeling for her. Seriously, I got on board there.
Okay, so I got the reference for, just so you guys know where I'm inspired by. There's a movie called Surf Ninjas with Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yes.
And
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas. So anyway, in Surf Ninjas, they reference the females as Betty quite a bit, and I kept that. I thought that was amusing. So,
I like it.
so he was like, he saved his Betty. That was awesome, actually. I love that when he threw the spear, and the two dudes are like, oh shit, and they slid on their knees right in front of her, just inches away, like Mission Impossible 1 when the helicopter blade almost gets Tom Cruise's neck, just like inches away.